Predicting the future is always a questionable venture, often based on current trends, emerging technologies, and societal shifts. While some predictions seem more conventional, there are always those that stand out for their strangeness or unexpectedness. In this video, we will outline 10 unusual predictions that were being discussed about for the year 2024. There is a loneliness epidemic all around the globe. For some, the majority of their relationships with friends and family already take place mostly over digital means, primarily through texts and the rare phone conversation. Add artificial voices, longer memory, and the ability to communicate in explicit sexual language to this equation. This is clearly a billion-dollar business that is just waiting to be started, and if it does well, the cultural debate over the generation that was committed to chatbot romance will be more likely to watch. It is anticipated that in 2024, we will begin implementing 4-day work weeks. Mostly because it already occurs. The other, somewhat callous explanation, is evident. We're going to go to working 4 days a week because, in the end, only the really important people will be running businesses, and a lot of people will be dismissed. 20% of workers will have over 50% of their work activities impacted by AI. There will be more motivation to hold onto those priceless individuals. Enough spare margin from all the automation and layoffs to allow them to take 1 extra day off each week. Businesses that are unable to effectively leverage AI will only force employees to work 5 days a week, if not 6. People begin to get enthusiastic about a 4-day workweek in 2024. And since it only becomes a reality for a select few, many people are rapidly let down. In 2023, a substantial strike involving actors and writers culminated in an acclaimed agreement, but the premature celebrations following this deal suggest to them that it could mark the beginning of Hollywood's downfall. This predicts that within the next 3 decades, the Los Angeles will resemble Detroit in the late 80s. Their reasoning revolves around several factors. First, the escalating competition from social media platforms is slowly eroding the dominance of established entertainment giants. The declining stocks of industry leaders like Disney, Warner, and Paramount signify a significant shift. The burgeoning influence of platforms such as TikTok, commanding 95 minutes of daily user attention, reflects a notable change in consumer habits. Additionally, there is a substantial increase in daily views for Facebook and Instagram Reels. Also, creators on TikTok remain unaffected by strikes, enabling uninterrupted content creation. Moreover, the reduced financial inflow for an industry already experiencing a decline in significance, due to the emergence of diverse international tastes, evident in hits like Squid Game and Money Heist. Even after 10 years of cord cutting, there are still 219 million TVs in the United States that are not in households, and those TVs display material that is expensive to create and license. In 2024, at the latest, we won't be prepared for generative artificial intelligence to produce full-length customized films, which, incidentally, already exist and go by the name TikTok. But we're prepared for the apocalyptic nightmare that is AI news. Channel One, an AI startup, promises to be a new news network with hosts created only by AI. Despite being dystopian, it will undoubtedly succeed and spread. It's inexpensive to make, doesn't require a lot of work, and waiting room boomers won't be able to tell the difference. By 2024, the news will be artificial intelligence produced, and the newscasters will be imposters. A wonderful moment to be alive. Time will tell what that does to fake news, but I bet it won't be good. AI was the buzzword of 2023. For many, this is an exciting time, but for others, it's frightening. It is ironic that the corporations developing AI are also perhaps the ones most anxious about it at the moment. That's because artificial intelligence is destroying every platform with a ton of garbage as it reproduces and digests material. It is contaminating Facebook, Google, YouTube, and Spotify. It will get more difficult to train new AIs over time, because millions of AI-generated pieces of content will have a greater or heavier influence on the quality of the data used. It may be argued that the best course of action is to recognize AI data and exclude it from training sets. However, this is a well-known challenge. No, creating and distributing 100% certified non-contaminated data sets is the only way out. A new kind of business will be established as a result of this industry-wide requirement, and social media platforms will purchase training data sets from these businesses to train their algorithms. And they will cost a lot. Their extra virtue of being economically viable will make them even more expensive, shielding our tech overlords from the onslaught of copyright lawsuits that are soon to rain upon them. It will be advantageous to launch a clean data business in 2024. It's difficult to see how Threads' launch could have gone more smoothly than it did. Following a slowdown in its early exponential growth, the app's monthly user base approached 100 million. However, Meta kept moving forward at a very rapid speed. As of right now, the business is starting to fulfill its promises to connect Threads to the Fediverse and to welcome visitors from the European Union. More publications, government agencies, emergency services, sports enthusiasts, and other holdouts will start utilizing the app more frequently once an API becomes available. By December of next year, Threads won't be feature competent, but it will be the social network that the majority of US media consider to be home. Given that Donald Trump's army is already actively disseminating fake news and receiving very little notice for it, this may hardly even qualify as a forecast. However, even if artificial intelligence might be involved in the 2024 election, it doesn't seem that fake videos of the candidates will have much of an impact on the result. It's difficult to understand how synthetic media can gain any traction at all when the media is constantly fact-checking them and most platforms are limiting their reach. The year 2024 will not be remembered as the election for TikTok, Threads, YouTube, or group chats. It will be a combination of all of them, as well as numerous additional sources including conservative talk radio, Telegram, and traditional media. Even if they all overlap, all things considered, this appears to be the most dispersed media picture of any US presidential race in the past 20 years. It will take a lot more work to follow the plot, and blind spots might appear. Like China's recent growth trajectory, the world's most populous country is currently undergoing rapid economic expansion and entering a phase marked by growing urbanization, industrialization, and rising household incomes. Barring significant policy blunders or unfavorable shocks, India's young population means that it will probably continue to have the fastest growing economy in the world for the next 10 to 20 years, making it a crucial role in the expansion of the global economy in the 2020s and 2030s. India is the largest democracy in the world, in contrast to China, which has an impact on international relations and foreign investment. Long-term investments may benefit from a more stable and predictable environment brought about by democratic governance. Conversely, China has recently been beset with unpredictability. The Chinese economy has faced difficulties recently, such as instability in the stock market, debt crises, and other economic pressures. By 2024, artificial intelligence will be used in businesses more and more. This will result in a lot of exciting activities and some overworked lawyers. Consider the number of problems AI will. Individuals suing businesses for alleged copyright violations, if clean data hasn't been used, and, if that fails, for alleged bias and discrimination. A large number of workers are suing businesses for wrongful termination since AI can now perform their jobs. Governments enacting new laws that management is unable to comprehend, such as the most recent AI Act. AI bots that don't work properly and make blunders and legal actions. Corporate lawyers should hope for a peaceful conclusion to 2023, as the coming year, 2024, promises to be challenging. Is rent taking up more than 30% of your take-home pay? If yes, then you are not alone, buddy. In March 2023, monthly homeownership expenses in the United States, including property taxes, insurance, and mortgage payments, amounted to approximately $3,000. Figures vary, but consensus is that these are excessively high. Although it only pertains to the US, the majority of the West does now. We're not creating enough homes in the interim. Alternative housing choices such as school buses, houseboats, tree houses, mobile homes, tiny homes, and shipping containers will see a resurgence in popularity as a result of these market conditions. With today's technology, these areas can be comfortably inhabited.